We are the Vegan Squad. We are on a mission to help 10 million people on their vegan journey get fit, healthy, feel good and confident in themselves, and show other people that we can be strong and thrive as vegans. We have so far coached over 600 people. We're excited to help more on their journeys. And a little bit about Coach Miranda. You'll hear more about her, but she's been vegan for 9 years. Round of applause, round of applause. We love that. She initially started her fitness journey for weight loss, but after researching, she stayed vegan for the animals. She said, I could never imagine supporting the suffering that they endure. I feel you. And but yeah, she got into fitness to lose fat, but eventually fell in love with lifting. And she became a coach due to her passion to teach others so they wouldn't make the same mistakes as she did in her journey. And now she has coached so many people. We've got a couple of her clients in the room right now, which is freaking awesome. Her biggest hurdle before she hired her own coach was yo-yo dieting and not sticking to a plan that was sustainable. I've also been there. Let us know in the comments if you have struggled with the same. Why Miranda hired a coach? She hired a coach to help keep her accountable, build back her momentum after being out of the gym for medical issues, and now her greatest strengths are setting goals that are realistic, considering her lifestyle and work obligations. So important. No longer beating herself up for missing a workout or eating outside of her macros, just hopping in the next day without any shame. So super important, and I'm excited for her to share her knowledge with y'all and share how y'all can have the same. Yeah, go for it, Miranda. The stage is yours. I'm
Awesome.
excited.
Yay. Hi, guys. I'm going to share my screen really quick with you. Just bear with me because I am not, me and Dustin have talked about this. I'm not very good when it comes to tech. So,
Same here, though.
right. Okay. Yay. I think that worked. Can everybody see me and hear me and see my screen?
Yeah.
Awesome. That is great. Okay, awesome. Well, welcome to day 2, guys. I'm so glad that everybody's here. I hope you're having a great day. There's going to be a ton of really great information that's going to be shared this weekend. And I hope that you're as excited as I am to hear from all the other speakers that are going to be speaking as well. But before I get into everything, I just want to say thank you for showing up, not only for us, but also for yourselves, because it's Saturday. You could be doing pretty much anything right now, but you've chosen yourself and you've chosen a better quality of life and possibly quantity of life. So I think that's something worth celebrating, and everybody give yourself a little round of applause for that because you deserve it. I love it. And I know that Alex gave me a little bit of an introduction, but I want to give you one of myself a little bit more. So I am a vegan squad coach. My name's Miranda. And prior to this, I was an in-person trainer. I did do traditional training, cardio, and then I also did electric muscle stimulation training. I have my personal trainer certification and nutrition coach certification through the National Academy of Sports Medicine. It's kind of based on my own journey that made me choose the route of training folks who are looking to lose fat who have time constraints, right? So I myself, I've always worked multiple jobs. I've always been very busy to support myself and my family. And when we go into my journey, you'll see that I let that become an excuse for why I couldn't lose the weight. Or I came up with very unrealistic expectations for myself, which made it really difficult to lose the weight. But before I get into my personal journey, I want to give out a little bit of a content warning, I guess, if you will, because I am going to be speaking about topics that can be a little bit uncomfortable for some people. So, topics such as disordered eating patterns or punishment through exercise, and all around unhealthy approaches to weight loss. So, I want to say that. I also want to say, do not, please, do not compare my weight and my body to your weight and your body, because we're different, right? Every single human body is different. We all carry weight on ourselves different. I'm very short. Okay. I'm a short lady. So please, I know it's hard not to compare, but really try not to compare. Just because you feel comfortable at a weight that I didn't feel uncomfortable, that I didn't feel comfortable in, is totally fine. Don't let that bother you. But I will go ahead and get into my personal journey. And it all started when I was a child. And listen, this is going to be important, so please bear with me. So I have a big family. I'm one of 6 kids. I have a stepbrother and sister, half brother, little brother and sister. We share parents. but I was the only one out of the six who was overweight. And people would make jokes about me being adopted because I look so different from my family. And you don't really notice things like that until you start to get a little bit older. And it was getting frustrating. I couldn't run as fast as the other kids. I would get out of breath running up the stairs, and they wouldn't. And so as I got older, I started isolating myself just so I wouldn't be involved in any sort of physical activity, sport, or playing with friends or anything like that, because I didn't want to face the embarrassment that came with that came with nobody wanting me on their team because I was too slow, I was too fat. Nobody really wanting to play with me at all because I just couldn't keep up. And that's incredibly embarrassing. And it's when you're a kid and you're like, why do I look so different than anyone else? Why do I feel so different than everyone else? Why can't I do the things that everyone else is doing? That gets really frustrating. And my mom is overweight. She was overweight. And she would tell me that it's just my genetics and that my sister got lucky. And that's great to hear when you're a kid, for sure. But when I was a teenager, I really wanted to fit in. I wanted to be cool. I wanted people to like me. So, I'm sure you all remember the stupid late night infomercials for what was it? Extreme total body workout DVDs and Brazilian butt lift DVDs and all these random weight loss pills and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, if only I had those things, then I would be cool and people would like me. And so I looked up the things that I could do for free. And it ended in apple cider vinegar cleanses where it's just apple cider vinegar and water. And that's all I would have. And I would tell my mom that I'm eating at school and I'm not eating at school. And I would go on these ridiculously long runs until I got sick in the morning before I went to school. And it's not healthy, obviously. When you're a teenager, you don't really know any better. And it worked. Sure, I did lose some weight, but I was never satisfied with the way my body looked. And I was always convinced that I was fat and that nobody would like me and that I wasn't going to be cool. And it was just a very overall unhealthy relationship with my body and the person who I saw looking back at me in the mirror. And that was very day to day for me. When I was in my junior year of high school, I went to online school. I was dealing with some bullying issues at the school that I was at, and I decided I wanted to do online school to combat that. And when I did, I started working. I was working more hours than a 16-year-old should be allowed to work. But with that, I now kind of had my own money and I could do whatever I really wanted to do. So the weight was coming back on pretty quickly. I was eating kind of a lot, not eating great food, that's for sure. And in my eyes, it was normal because I felt like everybody else around me was eating the same amount of food I was. So why is it that I'm gaining weight and other people aren't gaining weight? It doesn't seem fair. And after a while, I once again didn't want to look the way that I did, was unhappy with my body. So I went back to the normal apple cider vinegar cleanses and eating like maybe 500 calories a day and running and running and running. And then I would give up because I was exhausted and I couldn't sustain that. I was exhausted. I didn't feel good. It was impossible for me to keep up at work. When I moved out on my own as an adult, same cycle continues. I specifically here around this time was very drastic. I was very serious about making sure that I went to the gym, making sure that I got my cardio in, that I was doing cardio for at least an hour every single day, that I did not have any sugar, no sugar whatsoever, and I was going to only eat these few things every day. Obviously, that's not sustainable. And I would challenge myself to like 20,000 steps a day. And even though I was working a couple jobs at the time, I would get off of my jobs, I would go home, and I would walk and walk and walk and walk until everything hurt. And then I would quit because it was too much. Weight would come back on, and the cycle continues, and the cycle continues over and over and over again. So obviously, so far, what you've noticed is a lot of punishment, a lot of negative self-talk, a lot of self-hatred. And that has led to extremes where I'm like, I don't deserve this food. I only deserve this lack of food or these foods. I don't deserve to hang out with friends. I don't deserve to relax for once and hang out and watch TV. I have to be walking in the cold, in the heat, whatever it is. I have to be on top of it. I have to, because I'm not good enough and I need to be good enough. And obviously you've seen what that's led to so far is a whole lot of quitting, starting over and over and over again. Now, I'll talk to you about when that switched for me, what really made that switch. This time in my life was very dark. I was going through a very hard time. And I hated my job. I hated my relationship. I was living with someone who was not great. And I only found happiness or some sort of enjoyment in food. And I would hide food. I would sit in my car and I would eat so that way nobody would see that I was eating so much. And I didn't realize how much of an issue it really was until the day that I ran out on my ex-boyfriend, who was cheating on me, and he was actively cheating on me at the time that I ran out of his house, packed my stuff. He was in Miami and I left. And I went to my friend's house, who I was going to then live with. And after just hours and hours of being devastated and being heartbroken, I went into the bathroom to take a shower and try to wash the horrible day off of my skin. And I actively at the time tried to avoid mirrors. I didn't want to see myself in the mirror. I was too uncomfortable with my body to see myself in the mirror. But this time I stood there and I stared, and I was in disbelief by the person looking back at me because I didn't recognize that person. I didn't know who that was. I couldn't believe that it was me, that was my body looking back at me. And I stepped on the bathroom scale, and 182.6 blinked back at me. And I was so frustrated because I had been trying to get under 160 pounds for years and years. And to see that I was so much heavier was so heartbreaking. And instead of in that moment doing the same thing that I'd done every other time and be like, I have to fix this, I have to be better because nobody's going to like me and I hate my body, I have to fix it. Instead, I said, I deserve better than this. I don't deserve a piece of crap cheating boyfriend. I don't deserve to feel this uncomfortable in my body. I don't deserve to feel weak. I don't deserve to feel like this. And so I decided I'm making a change, and it's happening now. I did so much research. I did so much research, and a lot of what I was finding was so interesting to me because it was so opposite to what I feel like I grew up hearing, was that eat as little as possible and do all these workouts and do them every single day and be on top of it. And you have to be strict. It was the opposite. It was start out small, get a few extra steps in every day. Maybe start tracking the calories you're already eating to see how much you're eating on a daily basis. And I was like, this doesn't make sense, but okay, like I'll try it. And I started with at-home workouts. So I did a lot of like HIIT style circuit training at home. And I started just tracking my calories that I was already eating. I didn't try to hit any specific numbers. And I was like, oh, maybe I am eating a lot more food than I thought I was. Those oils will get you. And I was like, okay, like I want to lose a pound a week. So I just need to eat 500 calories less per day to burn a pound a week. So I started doing that. And it was like it was crazy how easy it was and how my life was just changing so much. Within a couple weeks, I was looking forward to my workouts. I was so excited to do them. They were so much fun. And I loved like sitting there and plugging in the different foods and eating the things that I still like to eat, but fitting them in to my calories. And the weight was just coming off and coming off. And I was in a good routine. And if I missed a day, if I was working 80 hours in a week at work, which was common at this time, then yeah, I missed a couple workouts. Yeah, I didn't get to track this one day. It didn't matter. I was still seeing progress because every other day I was sticking to my plan and I wasn't beating myself up and quitting and saying it's too hard every time that I wasn't sticking exactly to plan. So the mindset shift was so crazy because sure, I was doing all that running and I was doing all the tracking and doing all those things in the past, but now I actually looked forward to those things, right? When I started lifting, I started following a program and I was so excited to see what my next workout was going to look like. I was so excited to try and bump up my numbers. I was trying to squat heavier. I was trying to deadlift more. I was trying to get a pull up. And so those were the things I was focused on. And I didn't even realize that scale weight, I hadn't even weighed myself because I didn't care. It wasn't something that was even in my brain anymore because I was not focused on what I looked like anymore. I was focused on how I felt and how excited I was to feel strong. And obviously, when you feel strong over time, you're also going to look strong. It just follows fit. And so I think that the mindset shift that really did it for me was number one, realizing that I deserve better rather than punishing myself for not being good enough. Doing better things for yourself, treating yourself kinder, treating yourself better, and giving yourself more grace is going to be huge. And I know it's easier said than done, but please listen to me when I tell you that that's really what made the difference for me. And because I did that, I followed through with enjoying my workouts. They were no longer a punishment. I enjoyed them. I loved them. I couldn't wait to do them. Now, today, so my leanest weight was probably back in 2023 at 113 pounds. I sit between 115 and 120. And I'm happy maintaining that weight. It just feels very healthy for me. I do track macros, not always. So I will if I have a goal that I'm looking to achieve. If life's pretty hectic for me, if it's kind of the holidays and I'm just letting it go, then I'm able to mindfully eat because of the fact that I've been tracking for so many years. I'm able to estimate a little bit better. There are some coaches who continue to track even after they've achieved whatever goal it is that they were looking to achieve. And really, you never accomplish everything. There's always more growing. There's always goal shifting as you continue through your journey, and fitness is forever. So when you start a very healthy approach to fitness, I promise you that fitness will be a part of your life forever. It's never, okay, I'm going to lose the weight and then I'm just going to stop. Because if you lose the weight and then you stop, then the weight's just going to come back on because you're going to go back to what you were doing before and you're going to eat that entire pizza and the cup of ice cream and the chips like I did in one sitting. And the weight's going to come back on and possibly more. So you'll fall in love. I promise you. Over time, obviously, you need to try out different things, see what you like, but you will fall in love with what you're doing and you will be in fitness for pretty much for life because it's not only for fat loss, it's also for the longevity of your life, for your health, for bone density. Us as women, we really need to be lifting. Women need to be resistance training in some sort of way. Osteoporosis is not a good time. So we're going to try our best not to have that happen. Now, I want to share with you what I've learned in this process. What are the steps that are the most important when it comes to losing weight? Now, throughout the rest of this, you will be hearing from other speakers. They're going to dive more in depth into these things, but I just want to make them a little simple just to start out with. So number one, resistance train. Resistance, that can be your body weight. That can be resistance bands. It can be machines. It can be free weights. Whatever you do it well, push hard. Obviously, having a progressive program made by a coach is going to be best. If you don't have access to that, there's a lot of different means online that you can put something together that's going to work, but resistance train. It's very important. Eating enough protein. For most people, about 0.8 to 1 gram per pound of body weight is going to be great. Eating enough protein for a million reasons when you're in a calorie deficit. Number one, protein is much more satiating than carbs. So you need to be eating protein in your meal, because if I were to eat 100 calories worth of carbs, I would still be hungry. Now, if I were to eat 100 calories of protein, I probably wouldn't be nearly as hungry as I was after eating those carbs, right? So protein's important for satiety when you're planning all of your meals when you're in a deficit, because the truth is you're going to be a little bit hungry when you're in a deficit. You're going to be a little bit hungry. But we can counteract how hungry you are by eating more protein. Not only that, but we not only want to maintain muscle mass that's on the body while we're in this deficit, but we also want to potentially grow muscle while we're in this stage, especially if you're pretty new to the gym, then you'll probably see a little bit more muscle growth when you first start. But protein is going to help you build that muscle and maintain that muscle, which is more metabolically active than fat, meaning you need more calories to sustain muscle on your body than you do to sustain fat on your body. Protein is super important. Number 3, eating fewer calories than you are currently. I know people are sick of hearing about calories, but they're so important, I swear. Calories are basically what decide whether you gain weight or lose weight. So what your maintenance calories are, there are ways to calculate it online. It's never going to be perfect. Every single day, your calories, how much you burn, are going to be completely different. But you want to just start by tracking what you're already eating. What are you eating on a daily basis? How often is your weight fluctuating throughout that week? Okay, your weight stays pretty much the same and you've been eating the same calories every day. That's probably about your maintenance calories. Now, let's go ahead and cut that by either 250 to 500, nothing too steep, for the second week. See how that feels. Did you lose a pound of fat in that week? Okay, and then you continue to decrease your calories if you need to. Not going too low, but also making sure that you are actually eating in a deficit. Track your oil. Track your oil. Move more. And that's not just going to the gym. That is when you park at the grocery store, you park in the back. You park in the back of the parking lot and you walk to the grocery store. You don't look for a front spot. You park in the back to get the extra steps in. You take those stairs instead of the elevator. Even if you're winded by the time you get into the office, you took the stairs, and that's something to be proud of. Take the stairs. Walk. Go on walks. Get some walks done in the morning. Instead of sitting there and scrolling through TikTok for like an hour, go outside, walk. Get a little walk in. Doesn't have to be anything crazy. Light little walk is fine. Set a realistic step goal for yourself. When I say realistic, I mean if you work an office job and you are not allowed to have a stepper or anything like that in the office with you, do not give yourself a 12,000 daily step goal. That's ridiculous. You're going to burn yourself out. Start low. Start with like 3,000 steps even for your first week. That was easy? Great. Bump it up. This is not a race, right? So just take your time going through all of these new routines, right? All these new things. You're drinking more water, great, but don't push yourself too much. Don't do what I did and get a gallon bottle and pee every 20 minutes. Don't do that. Take your time. Take your time, because this is for life. This isn't temporary. So for me in my journey, my fat loss ended up being about 68, 69 pounds. That was over the span of years. That took time. My first year, I lost about 40 pounds. I kind of sat at 140-ish for a good amount of time, probably like 5 months. And then I lost the rest of it in, I want to say like 7 or 8 months. It takes time. And because of the fact that I took my time with it, it's so easy for me to maintain now. It's so easy. I drink so much water now, and I don't even have to think about, oh, I need to drink water. Oh, I need to get my water in. I get a ton of steps now because it's just second nature to me, because I've made it a habit over time. Mindset. So I talked about it a little bit, but I really just want to drive this home because it is what made the difference for me. The negative self-talk has got to go. The self-punishment has got to go. Again, easier said than done. That's really difficult to do. Even if you have a journal and every morning you write 3 things that you really like about yourself. They don't have to be physical things. They can be like, I love that I'm a good friend to people. I love that I am generous. I love that I'm vegan and I'm compassionate. Those are things that you can put in your journal, and you're starting off your day in a better, brighter, more positive mindset, right? And so if you continue that momentum throughout the day by thinking kind things about yourself, then instead of feeling like, I hate my body, I need to fix it, I suck, you'll think, I want to treat my body well. So I'm going to nourish it with good foods. I am going to move. I'm so blessed to have this body that can move and that can move weights and that can get stronger. So that's what I'm going to do. That is going to be huge in your journey, guys. I really mean that. And that's coming from, obviously, have you seen me going through a lot, right? I went through a lot of negativity. I went through most of my life hating what I looked like. And I associated that with myself. I was like, well, I hate my body, therefore I hate myself. And now I feel incredibly grateful that that's not even something that comes to my brain anymore. I'm incredibly grateful for that. And it is because of that mindset shift, that I feel this way now. But I want to open up the floor for questions. If anybody has any questions, I need to figure out how I can see the comments box. How does this work?
Thank you so much, Miranda. That was epic. Thank you for sharing your journey. I didn't know a lot of that about you, so it was cool to learn about you too, and it was very relatable. I definitely struggle with a lot of like mindset stuff too, and definitely a lot of punishment, like overtraining over many years. So I hear you, and thank you for sharing those mindset tips that you can get over time. Like I love the waking up and writing down or thinking 3 things that you love about yourself. And I totally agree. Like the more that you start small and continue to practice those habits, they just become second nature to you. And you fall in love over time, and you fall in love with getting stronger. You fall in love with yourself, and just showing that you can have that dedication to yourself, and showing that, you're loved to yourself. So I love it.
Yeah. Yay, I'm so glad.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, one thing, I know nobody asked this question because nobody asked the question, but that's okay. Loose skin is something I want to briefly talk about just really quick while I have the time. Yes, I have the time. Loose skin is kind of inevitable. So everybody's different. It is purely genetic, pretty much, whether or not you do end up getting loose skin when you lose a significant amount of weight. I myself, I didn't get a ton, but because I lost a good percent of my body weight, I do have some, mainly in my upper stomach area, a little bit lower underneath my arms and that tiny bit under my chin. And it was something that was a little embarrassing at first, but to me now it's a symbol of how hard I've worked and how far I've come. So please don't let loose skin bother you. Don't fall for any scams that are like, put on this cream and it'll go away, because that's not real. That doesn't exist. You can build up the muscle underneath that will make that skin look a little less loose. It'll tighten it up a little bit. But in general, the only really thing that gets rid of loose skin is going to be surgery. So I just want to put that out there. All right. Ashley said, I was overweight too growing up and have struggled with eating disorders in the past, and that's how I lost a lot of my weight. So I definitely relate to parts of your story. Thank you for sharing. Oh, see, I think it really is when you are a kid, and you're overweight, that negative self image really starts because of the fact that when you're a kid is when you start to pick up like, I don't understand. It's I'm eating what they're eating and I'm doing what they're doing. Like, why do I look so different? But thank you for sharing that as well. Um, well said. Your transformation is inspiring, not just the weight you lost, but the negative mindset you overcame. Proof that belief and consistency can change everything. Thank you so much. That is very, very true. So I hope everybody in here does take that to heart and actually listens to that advice. Oh, Bridget, I'm glad it hit home for you. Oh, also, if anybody ever has questions that they want to ask me privately, you can just DM me on Instagram at FitVeganViper. Just DM me. I'm always happy to help. I don't believe in gatekeeping. Okay. I don't believe in gatekeeping. I will tell you all the information. Thank you, Samara. Yeah, because kids are mean too. Kids are real mean. And they will make sure you know that you're big. They'll let you know. Oh, that's sweet. Please do. And then also if she needs anything or if she has questions, I'm so happy to help. Just send my Instagram to her too. I'd be really happy to help her, Bridget. That's really nice.
I am.
Any other
Thank you.
questions? I guess one thing I can really talk about really quick is scams, because there's a lot of them out there that have to do with weight loss. I don't think we got very far from the days of the extreme total body workout DVDs, because there is a lot of stuff out there that will say stuff like target belly fat with these ab exercises. That's not true. So you cannot choose which part of your body loses fat. Your body, again, it's pretty mostly genetics. That is going to be where you lose fat first and where you lose fat last. So for me, for example, I don't really hold a lot of fat in my legs. So when I was heavier, I had like really skinny, long legs and a pretty big up top. And I just lost the rest of the fat in my legs before I started losing fat everywhere else. So it really just depends. Don't fall for the, oh, well, if you want to get rid of this lower belly pooch, do this exercise. You can't really target fat loss through exercise. It's mostly genetic. So just stay in a calorie deficit, keep working out really hard, and you're going to look really great.
Totally. Yeah. And you're not going to malnourish yourself throughout it and
Exactly.
just feel weak. Yeah.
Very, very true. Yes, Samara, absolutely. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that you were bullied too. It is really tough and it doesn't help the already negative things that you think about yourself. And overcoming that is huge. So yeah. And I was always so mad because I was like all the girls out there that had like the big thick legs. I'm like, man, I want big thick legs. I just have to work extra hard for them. It's okay. Exactly. The Ashley, I have to lose weight until I see my abs. I very much felt that. Which it's like maintaining for most women, maintaining abs all the time is means your body fat percentage is a little unhealthily low. Yes, girl. Yeah, I'm praying for to also have Samara's big legs, girl. Muscle equals magic. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Do you have
That's
any
awesome.
other tips or things that people could do to increase their self-love? Oh, we got Sergio. He has a question. You
Yeah.
can answer first. Oh,
Hey, I don't know if
Hi.
you can hear me. Hey, how's it going?
Yes.
I had a question. So, do you feel or have you noticed when it comes to people losing weight, there are some people that lose weight very quickly, like very like suddenly, or it's just like gradual, like Do you feel like it just depends person to person, or is it just something that they're doing differently than maybe that others are not?
So that really has to do with the individual person, right? And what it is that they're doing. Because it's like the science is still kind of the same in the amount of calories per pound of fat and stuff like that. Obviously, there are some other factors, hormonal factors for women that will kind of make that a little bit difficult. But in terms of how quickly you lose fat, it is really just based on what your program looks like and what it is that you're doing. Um, I think that there is some information out there that says that men tend to lose fat a little bit quicker than women do, but I think it is just solely based on size and genetics because it's like the average male is typically a little bit bigger than a female. Hormones do play a little bit of a factor in there as well. But overall, it really just depends on what you're doing. Calorie deficit is a calorie deficit.
Because I wasn't sure because I felt like uh there are certain points where I would like have like a diet in a certain way and then it
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't work, but then maybe just
Mm-hmm.
adjusting it or whatever, maybe just time, maybe the body takes time to actually adapt to those changes. Not sure.
That could that could kind of be the case. I think it really just depends on what the diet is, because
Okay.
it is possible that when you first start a diet, especially if you first start eating in a calorie deficit and you're also going to the gym and you're also doing a lot of these other things, your body may be holding more water. So you may not notice that your weight is dropping during that time because the scale weight's going to remain kind of the same. But it's just because you're retaining water, your body is pretty new to everything that you're putting it through. So it's probably just holding on to a little bit more water.
Cool. Thank you.
Of course, of course. I'm happy to help. Oh, I feel like there's a lot going on over here. Oh, never mind. Does
Ashley,
anybody else have questions? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Ashley asked what your current fitness and life goals are.
Oh, I like that question. Okay, so right now I am kind of just getting back into the swing of things. I did suffer quite a bad allergic reaction back in October. So that allergic reaction kind of kept me from even being able to stand up. So I couldn't really be on my feet. So I was out of the gym for, honestly, it ended up being like 2 months that I wasn't going to the gym after that happened. And so now I'm kind of just getting back into things. I've been pretty consistent for the past month now. So I'm back in, I'm tracking again. I'm feeling good. I'm kind of just trying to build back some strength because I'm feeling a little weak right now, but that's okay. But long-term goals, I thought I was going to be doing that last year, but I really do want to do a fit model bodybuilding competition at some point. So right now I'm just trying to get as strong as I can.
Oh yeah, I'm excited for you. That's awesome. And I'm excited for
Thank
you to get
you.
back to your strength and yeah, just get back to where you were before.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask if you have any tips for like self-love, if somebody might not have like the support system around them,
Right.
or if they're kind of like stalling where they're at, or plateauing for a period of time. Like, do you have any self-love tips?
Yeah, absolutely. I am a big believer in doing the things that make you happy if you're feeling kind of down. And for some people, that's retail therapy. Period. Love that. But for others, it's different things. If you really like something and like you see this movie that's coming out and you really want to see it, but you don't really have anybody that will go with you because I'm assuming that you don't really have the best support system with you right now, but that's okay because you have us. Go see the movie by yourself. I have been to a million movie theaters by myself and I love it. And then I feel so good about myself after. I feel like I took care of me. Do things where you're taking care of you, right? So when you're kind of feeling like, man, I'm not feeling so great about myself, I'm not doing great at work, I'm not doing great in the gym, I'm not doing great in these different things. Instead of saying, well, I don't feel great, be like, how can I make myself feel better? What will make me feel good right now? If it's food, then try something different. Be like, you know what? I really want ice cream. Oh, you know what? I saw this one recipe online. It's like low calorie ice cream. Let me try that out and see if it's good. Get that ice cream, put on your favorite TV show, put on face mask girl, clear skin all day, and just enjoy your own company. It takes time to feel comfortable just with yourself and to enjoy your own company. But I promise if you continue to do the things that you enjoy for yourself, then you'll start to really love it. Maybe a little too much. Sometimes I'm like, I need to be social. Enough of me.
I love that. I love that. It's really just a journey. It's not only your health and fitness, but it's really your relationship with yourself. And I love that
Yeah.
tip of taking yourself out for a date and just experiencing life on your own. Like it really
Yeah.
does fill your cup, and it just yeah. Yeah, just give
Yes.
yourself that self-love. So I love that. And I love the tip about food too. There's definitely so many recipes out there that are like that high protein version, and it's fun to just experiment. Like you get to
Mm-hmm.
have these new experiences with yourself, and yeah, just pour love into yourself, build your mental fortitude. So I love that. Falling
Yep.
in love with yourself is crucial, Samara says. I agree. Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Love that. Thank you for
Yes.
sharing.
Yeah, of
Wolf also
course.
asked, what is the best way to rebuild habits after a disruption without trying to do everything at once?
That's a really great question, Jeez, because I recently went through this where, I was really consistent. I was doing great and, I was coaching in person at a gym and I was on top of my own fitness. And then I got hit with this whole uh, allergy situation. And I feel like I just completely fell out of it. I was not tracking. I was not going to the gym. I wasn't getting steps because I couldn't really walk. Um, so, the best way to rebuild habits, in my opinion, is to take everything that you used to do and throw it in the garbage for a little while. Throw it away. I want you to go, okay, what is realistic for me to do right now? What does my daily routine look like? What hours am I working? How much time do I have before and after work to do certain things? To rebuild, I would probably start the way that I got back in, and I think it really helped, was I just started with movement. I just started with my steps. I started trying to I started with 7,000 steps a day and then I added 1,000 per week. I think it depends on the person. I walk a lot just in general. I have to walk a lot for my job too. So for me, it was easy to bump up my steps, but for some people, take your time with it. I did that for 1 week. And then the second week is when I started adding in one workout per week. I was like, I'm going to make it to the gym once this week. I'm going to get in there. I'm going to do my best. If I don't feel good, I'm going to leave. I'm not going to make myself stay and punish myself. And then week 3, I added another workout and I started tracking my calories again for every day but one day a week. And now, because I've kind of built up that momentum, I'm back to, I think my step goal right now is like 13,000 steps a day. I always have my water. Water was never a big deal for me, but if you struggle with that, then keep a water bottle with you all the time and track your water. And yeah, now I'm hitting 4 workouts, which I was hitting 5 before, but I've actually found that I really enjoy just doing 4. I do 2 cardio sessions a week, kind of more so for fun. It clears my head to just jog for a long time. So cardio for me has been a little bit less about like burning calories and it's been a lot more about just like clearing my head and just feeling good. But yeah,
Love that.
little by little, little by little.
Totally. Love it. Thank you. Thank you for the breakdown too, like the week by week and yeah, just starting small and building up because yeah, it can be
Yeah.
very overwhelming to start a lot of habits all at once and allowing yourself
Yeah.
to build those routines over time and master one thing before moving on to the next few is so important. Thank you
Yes,
for naming all of
absolutely.
them.
And I know that the clients that I have in here will understand because like whenever I'm programming people, I'm not going to be like, here, do all of this right now. I would like never do that because that's not sustainable at all.
For sure. Yeah, yeah, I'm grateful for the way our coaches operate because I feel like everyone's just like over time and start building things up because we all understand that, the habits are built over time. You can't just start a bunch of new things at once. So I love that. Thank you.
Exactly. Of course.
Samara said, girl, I feel you with cardio. I used to hate it now, but now it's a form of meditation, and I also love that it
Right.
reduces inflammation. Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And I feel like people will be like, oh, the best form of cardio is rowing. The best form of cardio is the Stairmaster. And I'm like, the Stairmaster is my arch nemesis. And I am not going on that thing. I'm going to jog on the treadmill or I'm going to jog outside because it's what I want to do. And that is another huge tip for you guys. If you have a form of exercise that you enjoy, don't let optimization of your program get in the way because everybody's different. The best workout for you is the one that you like because then you're going to stick to it and one that fits into your schedule. If 2 hours of running outside doesn't fit into your schedule, don't do that. Do HIIT cardio instead, or maybe cycling at the end of your workout at the gym for like 15 minutes, 20 minutes. I just please don't fall for anything that says this is the best workout. This is the best diet. That's just not true. The best is what works for you, what you like. If you absolutely hate the thing, you're not going to do the thing long term. I gave up on split squats a little while ago. Okay. I hate them. I don't want to do them. And I realize when I'm doing it, I'm kind of not doing it all out because I hate it so much. So I'm like, why am I doing this exercise if I'm not going to yield anything from it because I'm not pushing as hard as I should be because I don't want to.
Yep.
So it's all trial and error. Everybody's different and what they like is going to be different.
Yeah, I appreciate all those tips. So much value. Can everyone give a round of applause for Miranda here? It's freaking awesome. But yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's finding the things that you like to do because you want to fall in love with them over time. We don't want that punishment mindset or I have to do this. Like we want to be, I'm excited to go hit my workout. I'm excited to get stronger. I'm excited to get stronger at this movement. I'm excited to get into this cardio session because I know it's for my health, because I love myself. And yeah, super important. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course.
Samara has a different breed. She's the only one that loves the Stairmaster.
You're nuts. No, I'm just kidding. Listen, the Stairmaster I feel was invented in hell. Yes, Dustin. I can't stand it. There was a period of time where I was really giving it a shot and I did it consistently and I still hate it. So I don't do it. I gave it my best.
Yeah, no, I got into it for a period of time. Also, just random tangent thought, but I used to do my cardio before I trained, and I found out that was a no-no because then I would be very tired for my session. I wouldn't be able to approach my workouts as effectively. So if you do end up doing cardio, if it's in the gym, something like a low intensity form of cardio, like the bike for 15 minutes or an incline treadmill without putting your hands onto the treadmill, please do your cardio after your workout.
Yes, absolutely. That is a mistake I also made. I feel like there's more. I feel like I have more mistakes because I made a lot. Oh, for whatever reason, I thought that drinking a protein shake before going to the gym was a good idea. It's not. Don't do that. Carbs. Carbs are good. Carbs are good before your session. They're going to provide your body with the energy that it needs to push really hard during your workout. So carbs are good. Don't stress too much about that though. If you're just getting into your tracking and into your deficit, meal timing is not that important for most people when they are looking to lose fat. Obviously, if you eat super late, it may disrupt your sleep, which may disrupt recovery. So trying not to eat too late. Don't eat after 6 thing. That's not really all that serious. Whatever time, the best time for you to eat your meals is the time that works for you and your schedule. Yes. Don't drink a protein shake before the gym. It sucks. you don't feel good. Creatine timing. Creatine timing doesn't really matter that much so long as you are taking it pretty consistently. So let's say I take my creatine at 8 a.m. in the morning. So long as I continue to take it every day within like a few hour window, it's fine. It's totally fine. Yeah. There's definitely a ton of misconceptions when it comes to fitness. It's really unfortunate. Now we're in the age where people can just post anything, and it's so long as they sound confident enough, people will take it as fact.
Totally.
Yeah, Dustin, making mistakes is the only way you learn. Exactly. Yeah. So don't be afraid to make mistakes too. When I first was getting into lifting and actually going to the gym to lift and not run on the treadmill, I was really nervous that I was going to look stupid. I was really nervous that people were going to stare at me and make fun of me and be like, haha, look at this fat girl trying to lift weights. I really was thinking that for a little while until you start to realize that people in the gym are not looking at you. Even if they look like they're looking at you, they're actually spaced out in between sets and they're not actually looking at you. Everybody is there for themselves. Okay. There's in the most beautiful way for me to put it, the gym is the most self-centered place on the planet. Everybody is worried about what they're doing, not worried about you. So don't be afraid to do things wrong. And the great thing that I like about Vegan Squad is that we can have our clients take a video of them doing their workouts when they're in the gym, different exercises, if they just feel kind of off and they feel like they're not doing them right. And then we're able to respond with some cues to help them perform the exercise a little bit better so they feel more confident going into the lift the next time that they do it.
100%. Yeah, and stay injury free. But yeah, thank you for touching on that. I agree.
Yeah.
I think it is, I like the way you put it, it's the most self-centered place out there in a kind way, but it's true. And everybody starts somewhere too. Like, I don't know. I personally respect every single person in the gym, like no matter where they're starting, just the fact that they're showing up for themselves, they're there. So yeah, I think that most people are either focused on themselves, jamming out to their music or focusing on their set, or just like us, just proud of the person for showing up. So we're proud of you for showing up too. And
yeah, exactly. It's like every seasoned person who's in the gym, everyone that you see that looks in there and you think that they're fit, it's like, well, they at some point were just like you and they were just starting out. And so they're not going to judge you. They're going to look at you and probably be like, wow, like good for them. Like I remember when I first started and I used to have like girls come up to me and be like, I like your shorts and give me a little fist bump. And I was like, ah, I'm cool. Like I loved it. So I also want to challenge all of you when you are in the gym and you see someone who looks a little bit uncomfortable, just go up to them, compliment them, be like, oh, your shoes are so cute, girl. Where'd you get them? Oh, I like your headphones, something like that. Because then it really does, like being someone who I have crazy social anxiety. And so the gym was really terrifying when I first started going. And when girls would come up to me and be like, oh, I really like your shorts. Where did you get them? I loved that. And then I felt so good for the rest of my workout. So if everybody this week, if you go to the gym, try to say that you like someone's shoes or their hair or something, because I promise you it'll make their day.
yes, we love that. Yeah, and you can make friends while you're there too, or at least just acquaintances. You know, you see the same people, you can say hi. I love that.
The person you fist bump, but you don't talk. Yeah.
Yeah. Just get them across the gym. I'm like, proud of you.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Hey, bro, I like your hair and your shoes. I love that. Yeah. We'll be hearing it this week, hopefully.
Period.
Cool, y'all. Hell yeah. Thank you, Miranda. Thank you all for being here. Really appreciate y'all. We have a few minutes left until we have our next part of the summit. Next, we'll have Sergio come up, do a little interview with him and John, hear more about his journey. But yeah, can everyone just give another round of applause for Miranda for being here? And if anyone has any more questions, please drop them into the chat. We'd love to hear your journey. And yeah, if you have any questions or any way we can help you. But yeah, that was epic. I really enjoyed your presentation. I think everybody did, and just learning more about you. Thank you for being so vulnerable and sharing your story and cheering other people on, giving those healthy mindset tips, and showing that it's a mindset shift that affects all areas of your life, not just your fitness and health. So thank you. Very, very valuable.
Thank you guys so much. I do just want to say I told Alexis yesterday that this is my first time kind of going in depth and talking about my journey and what it looked like. And for it to be with the Vegan Squad is a dream. So it's really awesome. So thank you guys for letting me share.
Oh, yeah. We love you, Miranda. Thank you.
Love you guys.
You did a great job, Miranda. Thank you so much, dude.
Thank you. Of course.